Good morning on this Sunday. It is 10 o'clock right now. Thanks for checking in with us here at Atlanta News First Plus. As we take a look right now at Lake Lanier, how gorgeous does this look? The sun is shining, the water is nice and calm. The calendar says October, but boy, it'll feel more like a summer day out there. Good morning. I'm Megan Packer, and we'll check in just a little bit with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. I think we've got something for everybody in her forecast. If you like the warm weather we've been having, or if you're ready for more of the fall-like temperatures, stay tuned for what she has to say. She'll be up here in just a moment with me. But right now, I just want to get you updated on the stories that we are following for you right now. Lots happening from last night into the overnight hours into today, including a few different shootings to talk about, one of which involved a triple shooting that Atlanta police are investigating. They say 3 men were shot outside of a nightclub overnight. It happened just before 1 a.m. at a location called The Bank on Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway, right near 285. The victims were all taken to the hospital, we're told. They were stable at last check, and police had nobody in custody for that shooting when we last heard from them about this morning. We're also told that bullets hit 3 cars in the parking lot of that nightclub. So still an active investigation for Atlanta police there. DeKalb County police have their own triple shooting investigation that they are working on right now. This one happened last night around 7 o'clock at a gas station on Panola Road, and this one was deadly. Police say a man was killed, and a 22-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman were hit. They are expected to be okay. They say 1 or more people shot the 3 of them from a car before driving off. You can see this active scene here last night, the crime scene tape up outside of that gas station and several different businesses there. No suspect information has been shared about this shooting just yet. Something we have been following very closely for a week now, the chemical plume situation in Rockdale County. At this point, tonight will be the last shelter-in-place order for Rockdale County. It's been in effect now from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. When it goes back into effect tonight, that will be the last night for it. So once it's lifted at 7 a.m. Monday, as of now, at least, the county says that will be it, and that they will start to reopen government facilities and the courts and getting back to normal a little bit more in Rockdale County. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on that. We will look for updates from the county. And also, BioLab has launched a dedicated website to share updates on the situation. BioLab is, of course, the facility where they had this incident 1 week ago today, when a sprinkler system malfunctioned, reacting with chemicals inside that plant that makes materials for spas and pools. So there has been just a plume of smog and chlorine sent into the sky now. So we will keep you updated as soon as we learn more. But if you are in Rockdale County, if you have friends and family there, tell them as of right now, the plan is for that shelter in place to be lifted at 7 a.m. tomorrow after it goes into effect tonight. We are less than 1 month away now from Election Day for the presidential election in November. And if you have not registered to vote yet here in Georgia, tomorrow is the deadline to do so. The Georgia Election Administration Work Group sent a letter to Governor Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger asking them to extend the deadline to register because of the recent challenges our state has been seeing from Hurricane Helene and this Conyers chemical plume. But as of right now, that deadline is in place tomorrow. Oh, excuse us. We are showing the wrong. Oh, no, there we go. Yep, that's the chemical plume that is causing them to want to push that back a little bit more. So, but that has not been pushed back, we should emphasize at this point. So right now, the plan is for tomorrow to be the deadline to register to vote. Okay, the pandas at Zoo Atlanta getting ready to say goodbye. There was a big Panda Palooza celebration yesterday. People lined up for hours to say goodbye to the 4 animals there. They are leaving because an agreement with China has expired. This past summer marked 25 years that the pandas have been at Zoo Atlanta, and the 4 of them will leave sometime in mid-October. But people were out there yesterday on their Saturday saying goodbye, taking pictures, writing farewell message cards for the beloved animals. So you still have at least a little bit longer to get out there if you've never gotten out to Zoo Atlanta to see the pandas in person. We definitely recommend that you do so before they leave us. All right, well, that is a quick check of what is making news on this Sunday morning. Let's take a peek outside again because it is just too pretty. We have to talk about this weather. So let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Beautiful weather for us, Courtney, but you are tracking some not so great news for our friends and family down in Florida. Here we go again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly it. Here we go again for the state of Florida as they're bracing for Milton within the next about 72 hours or so. I imagine in the next 24 hours, we'll start to see tropical storm and hurricane warnings and storm surge watches and warnings for the area. So we are thinking of our neighbors to the south. Selfishly, not so selfishly, we're going to be grateful for our weather here at home. It's going to be beautiful. We don't need any more rain. The Carolinas wouldn't need any more rain, obviously. So just count your blessings this week because our forecast really is going to be beautiful. While just a couple hundred miles to our south, it's going to be a completely different story. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Let's talk about the forecast. It's going to be another hot one today. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s this afternoon for the city of Atlanta. We topped out at 86 yesterday. We'll top out at 85 today. Low 80s for the city, or for our suburbs rather, 83 for Canton, 83 in Carrollton, 83 in Gainesville, and low 80s for the mountains, 84 in Thomaston. Taking you into tomorrow, another comfortable start. We'll wake up in the 60s, very similar to this morning, and then through the afternoon, it'll be even hotter tomorrow. So we'll have high temperatures tomorrow climbing into the upper 80s with a lot of sunshine. So pretty steamy day for early October standards. Tuesday, a cold front starts to push through the area. So you'll notice a light breeze. You'll notice maybe a few extra clouds, and then that cooler air will start to fill in. Tuesday, highs only near 80, but then as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that cooler air really settles in, and our overnight lows will also tumble. It is going to feel fantastic outside by Wednesday morning, and Thursday and Friday even more so. We will have some extra clouds Tuesday and Wednesday as Milton passes to our south. That's the storm currently in the Gulf. So once those clouds go away and that cooler air really settles in, we are just going to reap the benefits of it. It's going to feel fantastic Thursday and Friday morning. Low 50s is for the city of Atlanta, so a lot of our suburbs could end up in the upper 40s. Okay, let's talk about the latest on Tropical Storm Milton. This storm currently swirling in the western Gulf, 60-mile-per-hour winds as the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center, and this is expected to strengthen very quickly. I want to note right now, Florida already getting a lot of rain from a separate low that's kind of just hanging out over the state, and that is going to enhance the flooding risk as Milton moves inland because they're already getting a lot of rain the next couple of days, and then Milton's just going to add on top of that. So flash flooding, a high likelihood across the state, of course, and then we're going to have to worry about storm surge and inland flooding as Milton rolls in as we head into the middle of the week. So the latest forecast information from the National Hurricane Center. This morning, the forecast track has started to shift a little further south. Models are still kind of all over the place with this storm. I mean, they are honing in on a specific area. The cone has definitely gotten smaller over the last 24 hours, but it's really important not to focus on the cone because impacts will extend well outside of the cone. And also important to note, this far out, the margin of error is over 100 miles. So this cone could still very well shift in the coming days, but a lot of models have kind of locked in on Tampa and areas south for potential landfall. Expected to become a major Category 3 hurricane by early Wednesday morning, and it does look like it might weaken to a Cat 2 just before landfall and then maintain that Category 1 hurricane status as it moves across the entire state before weakening out over the Atlantic. So right now, if you live in the state of Florida, you need to be preparing for a hurricane. If you live along the coast, of course, your impacts will be even greater in the form of storm surge. That looks likely. And then, of course, inland flooding, also a high possibility, especially from Orlando off to the north. Areas from Orlando up to Jacksonville could pick up over a foot of rain between the rainfall the next couple of days and as Milton moves through. So, again, this storm going to impact Florida between Wednesday and Thursday and then push off the coast. So it'll be a very quick moving system, but nonetheless a very powerful system. So for us here at home, all you're going to notice, increasing clouds, a breeze. That's all you're going to notice from the storm as it moves south. But again, if you live in the state of Florida, if you have family and friends in the state of Florida, just make sure that they are preparing today for a hit from a hurricane because hurricane impacts, tropical storm impacts are going to be likely pretty much statewide, and that's something that you need to take seriously. Unfortunately, the Tampa area still cleaning up from Helene. I have a lot of friends in that area who were showing me videos of all the debris and the furniture that's still on the curbs because of the floodwaters that went into their homes just about a week and a half ago. And this storm surge definitely has the potential to be worse, really depending on where this storm goes. If the storm goes a little further north or maybe makes a direct hit in Tampa, that could pull in a lot more water because of just the anatomy of the storm. If it goes a little further south, while the storm surge threat will still be high, that storm surge threat will start to shift a little further into the Naples area. But nonetheless, again, a second hurricane impacting the West Coast and really the state of Florida within 2 weeks. Here at home, again, we're counting our blessings. Beautiful, beautiful weather with temperatures in the 80s the next few days, so we'll be hot. And then we'll go into the mid-70s by Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll stay in the 70s with low humidity. The humidity will start to drop Tuesday. And then morning lows will drop into the 50s as we head into Wednesday with low 50s. Friday and Saturday morning, really cool and crisp air on the way as we round out the week and start next weekend. All right, everyone, that is a check of your forecast for the latest on your forecast here at home and Milton. Well, again, that's not going to have any impact on us. Our neighbors to the south in South Georgia, this doesn't look to have a huge impact on them. They could get some rain, maybe some gusty wind, but overall, it is not going to be the devastation that Helene brought to South Georgia. A lot of those people just getting their power back on. So that's good news really for the entirety of the state. Our impacts will be very minimal from this storm, but definitely thinking about our neighbors to the south. We'll continue to update you on Milton and, of course, the forecast right here for North Georgia as we go through the day. So make sure to have that First Alert Weather app handy, and I hope you make it a wonderful Sunday.